So you have a team who talks to your customers more than anyone else in the entire company.
Every single day.
Yeah, they know what's broken, they know what people love, and they solve problems constantly. And yet, in most boardrooms, that team is seen as, well, a liability.
A place where money goes to die.
Exactly.
That's the cost center trap. It's kind of the default setting for most businesses, right? You see support as this necessary evil, something you have to manage, minimize, and, do as cheaply as possible.
And that's the exact tension we're exploring today. We're doing a deep dive into the playbook, Flip the Script, how to turn support into a growth engine. The goal here is pretty ambitious, I think. It's about moving support leaders from just fixing tickets to actually driving revenue.
And let's be honest, avoiding the budget cuts that usually come with that fixing tickets label.
Right. So the playbook draws this hard line between two mindsets, the cost center and the growth engine.
Yeah.
But practically speaking, isn't efficiency important? Why is the cost center mindset so dangerous?
Efficiency is fine, but in a cost center, the holy grail is average handle time, AHT.
How fast can you get them off the phone?
Exactly. The metric basically incentivizes your team to ask, how quickly can we end this conversation? And when you optimize for pure speed, you inevitably sacrifice quality.
Okay.
The growth engine mindset sort of ignores the clock and asks a totally different question. How does this one interaction affect customer lifetime value, or LTV?
That it's a trade-off. You spend a bit more time now to keep that customer paying you later on.
It's actually, I think, a little deeper than that. The playbook argues that a lot of support leaders struggle to get budget because they speak a different language than the C-suite.
What do you mean?
Executives don't really fund better service or, happier customers. It's too vague. They fund revenue protection.
Revenue protection. Now, that sounds like something a CFO would actually listen to.
It totally changes the room. If you walk in and tell a CFO, we need more staff to lower our wait times, all they hear is increased expense.
Right, more cost.
But if you say, we need to reduce customer friction to improve our net revenue retention and lower our customer acquisition cost, now you're speaking finance. You aren't saving a ticket, you're protecting the bottom line.
Okay, let's see this in action. The playbook talks about a few heavy hitters who made this switch. Zappos is the one everyone knows, right?
They are the classic example, yeah. Zappos famously has no call time limits.
Which, to a cost center manager, must sound like a complete nightmare.
Oh, it would be. But Zappos realized that the support call is their marketing. By not rushing people, they build this loyalty that's worth so much more than the, operational cost of the phone bill. They aren't optimizing for speed, they're optimizing for affection.
That makes sense for B2C retail. But what about, say, software? The playbook mentions Slack.
Yeah, Slack used their support team as a feedback engine. During their hypergrowth phase, they didn't just fix bugs, they tagged every single conversation.
Every one.
Every single one. So if 50 people struggled with a specific feature, that data went straight to the product team to help change the roadmap.
So support wasn't the janitor cleaning up a mess. They were more like the architect telling the builders where the door should go in the first place.
That's a great way to put it. And then you have Shopify, who took it even a step further. They use support signals, like specific phrases or even drops in sentiment, to predict churn before it even happens.
Whoa!
So they can intervene when a customer is just thinking about leaving.
That's the Minority Report of customer service. Okay, let's pivot to the how. If I'm a leader listening to this, and I want to stop being a cost center, where do I even start? I can't just walk into a meeting and demand a budget for revenue protection.
No, you can't. The playbook suggests starting with what it calls a CX growth thesis. It's basically a strategic statement that connects your support work directly to the company's biggest goals.
Okay.
It forces you to define your North Star, something like, we reduce customer friction to increase LTV. Simple, but powerful.
It aligns the whole team, but then how do you execute on that?
You build a strategic roadmap, and you don't do it all at once. Phase 1 is just quick wins. Usually that means just tagging your data properly so you can actually prove the trends exist. You need the evidence first.
And once you have that data,
then you can move to Phase 2, strategic projects. This might mean automating all the easy, repetitive questions so your humans can focus on high-value accounts. And finally, Phase 3 is scale. That's where support is actively helping sales close deals or identifying upsell opportunities.
it seems like a huge theme here is breaking out of that silo. You can't do this if you aren't talking to the rest of the company.
You absolutely have to. You have to be best friends with the product team, showing them where the friction is. And you have to align with marketing, telling them, hey, this is what customers actually expect versus what you sold them. Support is often the voice of reality in a company.
It really does turn the department into a goldmine for strategy, rather than just a cleanup crew.
The data is there, the customer relationships are there. It's just a matter of changing how you value the asset you're already sitting on.
Here's a thought to leave you with. If your support team talks to your customers every single day, why are they so often the last people invited to the strategy meeting?
That is the question.
You can find all the details on the playbook in the caption. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.